virtual volley. Tonight we have a fantastic show lined up. We have the national team coaches, both of the male and female programs. So just going to jump straight into it tonight. I want to welcome and introduce them. So we have Andrei Molnar, men's head senior coach. Andrei, how are you tonight?
Hey everyone, not too bad, just tired from work.
Good.
Not too bad.
And we have Mark Delahunty, who is in charge of the women's senior program. Mark, how are you this evening?
Living the dream, Connor. Living the dream. Those are we all, I think.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all? And no, we have a few more coming in there. Can you? I'll admit them. So, guys, look, we have a few questions to get through with the coaches, but if you want to add any questions, put them in the chat box. We'll try and get to them throughout the program. We've got a very short period with the guys here, and so do get them in early if you have any. So I'm just going to jump straight into it. A lot of viewers here will recognize you, especially a lot of the older ones. However, a couple of the younger ones might not know who you are. So, Mark, would you be able to, I know you've obviously had an extensive experience leading up to the top job here, but can you give us a brief background on sort of what you were doing leading into the role of national head coach?
Yeah, sure. I suppose I'm 15 years at it now coaching, and probably like everybody else fell into it by accident. But I really loved doing it, and I suppose I got success quite early as well. I got to coach some, I was lucky enough to coach some really, really good teams. And that just hooked me in, then it was done. And actually, I'd say about maybe 6 years ago, I took a bit of a break from the game and came back then when 2 clubs had contacted me about whether I'd be interested in coaching. So I said, okay, we can have a chat. And then one thing led to another and we were back into it. And I think at the time, Fabio happened to be moving away from Ireland, so he had to relinquish his role as the head coach at that stage. So I saw an opportunity and went for it, basically. And Gary was foolish enough to hire me.
Fantastic. I don't believe it's foolish at all. Andrei, how about your rise to the top job? Can you tell us a bit of background on that?
Well, basically I've been in volleyball since ever. So first contact, I think the age of 7, 8. Played back home, went to college, everything. So my college was volleyball, I studied volleyball as well. So from middle school, because in Romania we have middle schools and high schools like the States. Middle school and high school were volleyball school, were a specialized school. College, the same, physical education and specialized in volleyball. Was playing for different clubs. I arrived, to be honest, I arrived in Ireland by mistake. And if I'm not mistaken, in my second week, I entered in contact with UCD. But I actually played for 6 months for them, 6 or 5 months, something like this. Megan was coaching there. And I was coaching Division 2 women's. They asked me if I want to help them a little bit. And I've done a few projects since then. So I work with Trinity College, with Olkey Devils here, with the women's squads. I was working with Wim. So I was his assistant. Then I took over the under 19 and under 16 together with Adam. Then I took a 1-year break due to my master's, and I applied afterwards when they decided to start the men's program. So more or less a straight line since then.
Perfect. Well, I'm sure I can speak on behalf of everyone when we say we're very lucky to have you both heading up our programs. Andrei, I'm just going to stay with you for a second. There's obviously, big differences in the men's and the women's game. What is it that you enjoy the most about the men's volleyball?
Well, what I like recently, the game changed a lot. So I didn't like how the game was played in mid-2000 when it was based on giants only. But in the last 10 years, due to the physical condition, you see a lot of extremely well-trained people from fitness point of view. The heights dropped and you see very athletic people, So now it's absolutely normal to see second and third play. It's very fast, extremely fast, extremely powerful. There is an responsibility. You know, you don't really have a margin of error. The margin of error is very small. So once you choose something, that's it, you own it. Good, bad, whatever. You know, it's not, like I said, in volleyball, you don't have, like in communication, a sandwich opinion. Either it's a point or it's not a point, end of story, you know? And in especially men's volleyball, because it's that fast, once you touch the ball, for sure somebody makes the point, you know? So, and that's the psychology behind it. And you have to adapt, you know, you have to accept your decision, you know,
Okay.
no matter what happens.
Speed, you enjoy the speed. Okay, Mark, I'm going to jump across to yourself then. Mark, the women's game, what is it that you enjoy about that?
I suppose from a national squad's point of view, I like the fact that I see a lot of opportunities for us as a sport in targeting young women and trying to entice them into the sport, because I don't really see it being as challenging as the men, for instance, who have to compete with soccer and GAA and rugby. And I know girls play those sports, but not to the same level as the guys would. So I think, particularly because volleyball is non-contact, I think there's a really great opportunity for us to start improving on the numbers of people we have playing the game, which hopefully ultimately will result in a higher quality, and that will filter through to the squads. As far as the game itself, kind of have to be careful what I say here so I don't offend anybody, but I think the women's game is a little more, for want of a better word, subtle than the men's game is. And rallies tend to go on for longer, and there's a certain tactical element that needs to be implemented because the rallies are longer. And I love that aspect of the game.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair enough statement as well to say. Pretty clear from viewing a lot of matches over the time. So I'll stay with you again, Mark, if that's okay. I want to sort of shift from the senior, because we have a lot of young people on here. Have we any sort of plans or producing plans at the minute for junior development of the squads?
We do, and unfortunately, COVID hit, so kind of parked all of our plans, if you like. The idea is basically that we will have 4 squads. This is probably simplistic because it's more based on year you were born before January of a certain year, but essentially what we're looking at is under 15, under 17, under 19, and then senior national team, and create a pathway through so those 4 teams are connected in a way, and coaches and players. And I also think you guys had other plans in terms of a level outside of the under 15s that will help us feed into that with regional teams and regional programs. So yes, there's loads out there. Hopefully when we get back up and running, that I know we have coaches just itching to get in and get started. So we'll have to be back in contact with them when all of this ends, hopefully soon. And rest assured, there's plenty going on.
Great news, great stuff to hear. And like you mentioned, yeah, the long-term player development, which will obviously start from zero and hopefully feed right into your programs. Andrei, so same question, I guess, for the boys program. Where are we headed in the near future?
Well, for the last 3 years and a half, so closing this year as well, the main target was the under 19, which was obvious, was by contract as well. Now, normally we would go with all the age groups down to mini volleyball, but the reality is the numbers in Ireland are not there to work like that. So under 19, under 17, and a senior squad. At this moment, we would have a very, very young senior squad, and I'm really looking for an under 17. We would have around 40 to 50% of a good under 17 squad. I like to keep going with the under. Remember, we worked together in the under 15 with the initial project that went to France. So it's a good idea, but because our culture in volleyball is not there yet, I don't know how much commitment we will get there for a national team. And when I'm saying this is everyone, any junior coming to the national team knows one thing: I demand a certain level of maturity the second you take the Irish jersey on you. So I don't care if you're 7. The second you are there, this is the national team, is not a club. Now, we have good potential. So like I said, under 19, under 17, we are going to try again to see under 15 what, because we had success last time. If I'm not mistaken, because you actually helped me, we had 32 kids. From 32 kids, we actually managed to make 12 decent. And from that under 15 national squad, I'm not going to say the name yet, but you already know who's about, Connor. In June, it's a big surprise because one of them was accepted to a major volleyball program. So the program was a success for my part. So I hope we can get back, to build up from there as well.
I think what you both kind of finished on there was just getting back at this stage is going to be a huge achievement.
It is. So my mathematics is like this. So what a lot of people don't understand about selection process is when we select the age of 12, so we lost 2 years. Okay, those kids, instead of being 12, they are 14. The kids that they were 14, we used to select, they are 16 now. The kids of 16 who were supposed to play for the under 19, they are 18, 19. So it's a big mess in all sports, and it is going to be challenging. That's for sure. The next 4 years are going to be challenging from this perspective.
Okay, a lot of our young ones on here, the viewers, they're club players, and some of them, will hopefully have aspirations to play national team. But Andrei, maybe we have you both on here for your real experienced insight. Do you have any advice for young players starting out? What would be your top tips for newcomers to the sport? Any sort of guidance or advice you might have for them?
So newcomers, don't take examples superstars. I like to give examples from football because it's more handy. Don't try to play like Messi. Even Messi was not Messi before he arrived being him. So put short-term objectives, high objective, but realistic objectives, and work. There is no substitute for hard work. There is no substitute. There is, okay, we all wake up, you come from school, you wake up a little bit, man, I'm too tired to go to training. Take your bag, go to training. My mom doesn't want to take me to training or she can't take me to training. Let's put it like this. Get on your bike, cycle to training. There is, especially in volleyball, which is a sport that has very, very high performance targets. You can't substitute for hard work, And you know what? In the end, it's worth it. You're going to reach a moment where you're going to realize, man, I've done something, because it's one of those sports that actually gives back. Okay. Not a lot. I know it's bad. I'm going to be mean, but not all sports are like that. Volleyball is in the situation where it can give back, but it is a hard competition, and there is everyone that comes to the men's squads knows one thing: you don't train, you don't play. I don't care how good you are. You're not serious in training, you're not playing. There is no shortcuts there. I didn't lose the match. You lost the match because you didn't train.
Okay, so it's hard work from you. I think you touched on something nice there at the beginning, which we're really driving as well. Children are not mini adults, and you can't treat them like that. Children are children. Mark, I'm going to take over to you and just go up a little bit of a level. So Andrei talked about newcomers. A lot of them, as I mentioned, are club players, and maybe, are coming to the 13, 14, 15 years old, and they're kind of hoping, how do I make that next step to squads? What do you recommend for those guys, or any advice you might have for them?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a million miles from where Andrei is. I mean, it is a lot of work to get onto a national team, and it should be. Nothing in life worth achieving comes easy. That's why it feels so rewarding when you have success at the end of it. But I mean, for those guys, I would just be encouraging them to work at home on the physical side of their game, their jump, their athleticism, all of that stuff, and get a ball and get in the gym as often as you can.
Super. I think from both of you, just practice, and hard work, and hopefully it'll get you there in the end. So, all right, sound advice. I want to get away from that a little bit, and maybe, Mark, I'll just stay with you.
Yeah.
Maybe get a bit more personal, if that's okay. Do you have a favorite volleyball moment? And it doesn't have to be squad related. It could be with a club, maybe, or even an individual moment for yourself.
Yeah, I suppose there was one year I was playing first division. We had a great group of lads at Garda at the time, and we won the triple. And I was also coaching Santry Premier Division women at the same time. And we won the double that year. So that awards night was pretty fun. But to be honest with you, now it's really small things that I enjoy and that create the lasting memory. So it's just things like when a player looks at you and knows that they've done a good job, that something has finally clicked with them, something you've been educating them on, or a team runs a combination play you've been working on for weeks in the gym to success on the court. It's those little things that really get me now.
Okay, good. Andrei, I'll ask you the same question if that's okay. Do you have a personal moment, favorite moment in volleyball?
Look, as a player, I still remember even today, I was the age of 12, technically mini volleyball. And I was in Romania, middle school is mini volleyball, 10 to 12, junior 3, 12, 14, all the way to seniors. And technically I wasn't allowed to go because I was too young to go with junior 3 with the middle school team, but I went. I remember somebody got injured and I was with the reserve there just looking cool, you know, and I just heard the coach, Molnar, come in. Just started sweating. I went in, boom, boom, a few balls hit me. The coach, good job. You're a strong lad. You have big heart. You're not running from defense corner. The ball moved so fast, I didn't have time to run from the ball. And as a coach actually happened here in Ireland, we helped a few players in a few difficult situations at one point. And after around 2.5 years, I got the message around 10:30 in the evening. Thank you for the support. At that moment, I'm okay now, you know what I mean? So, but that's it. So then, it's a complicated thing, but that kind of, you know, puts things into perspective how much you are kind of affecting the future of these young lads, you know, because from kids, they are going to young adults, you know, in times, and you actually make a difference if you're doing your job properly, you know.
So obviously, and I'll stick with you, Andrei, which you might have just already answered, but I'd be interested to know. You're obviously both coaches, and you kind of, you know, want to be involved in that role. Did you have a favorite coach or a mentor, even now today, or as you were growing up, that maybe sticks out and thought, I want to be a coach when I'm older?
To be honest, when I was a player, I wasn't thinking I'm going to be a coach. So this kind of grew on me. So my initial coach from school, from my sports school, Andrei Petru, was a brilliant player. He used to be actually a teammate with Maria Moculescu from Friedrich Safon. So it's a very dodgy world in the industry. When I went back from college, I finished my career. I used to teach even in the summer breaks in a youth center. I used to help with small sport programs. But his wife sadly had cancer, and the man had to take a sabbatical. And he basically called me because I was specialized. Andrei, can you take 1 year in the sports school for me? And I went there, started, like I said, sports school can be very intense. You don't really start your career there. You work your way up there, you know. But I liked it. And Professor Andrei was a mentor since I was a child, you know. And my last coach, Adrian Pustiu from Volleyball Brașov, I don't think he realized how much he influenced the way I'm seeing volleyball, to be honest with you. But the way he was structuring the trainings, the way he was preparing, the way he was interacting with the players was kind of unique. So was extremely unique from all perspectives, you know. And it really affected how I'm seeing things as a coach.
Okay, good insights there. Mark, I'll just go the same question for you. Anybody standing out for you?
Yeah, I mean, some of your listeners are probably a little bit young to remember these guys, but I was lucky enough back in the day to have Paul McKeever and Mary Lawler. They kind of took me under their wing a little bit, and I used to go to all of the women's squads training sessions just to be a spectator as much as anything else and watch them coach. And it was a great learning experience. I think it's a delicate balance between trying to mimic another coach that you really respect, and being your own coach as well, and being true to who you are and your values. But they were very much impressing that on me. I was just too pig-headed to listen to them at the time. But they were really good to me, those two guys.
Okay, yeah, there's a straight answer there. You obviously have them up there. I'll stick with you again. How are you engaging your team? Because obviously a lot of clubs are out and players are obviously looking to get back, but the national squads obviously need to stay in communication with each other. How's that happening at the minute, or is it happening?
Well, yes, it is happening. I mean, we're unfortunate enough that we had our trials, and essentially that was the end of us before we went into lockdown. So some of the girls haven't even met each other at this stage. So it was really important that we kept it going in some capacity. I mean, of course, it's online stuff. We do it kind of every other Monday nearly, where we'll either have an inspirational speaker on, we'll just do a team bonding session with games and stuff like that, or we'll do tactical analysis of videos that we select and individual skills and stuff like that. So we're trying to keep a balance of it, make it interesting as well, and have some level of interactivity, because as much as it's about volleyball, it's really about us trying to build the team bond so that when we get back onto the court, that everybody is familiar with each other and everybody is comfortable, and we don't have that getting to know you period again, because we don't really have the time for it. When we do get back on the court, we kind of have to hit the ground running.
Excellent idea. No substitute for play, eh?
Absolutely.
Andrei, what are the boys up to? Are they staying in touch at the moment?
Well, we have a periodical Zoom squads meeting. You know, we have our captains are doing a good job. They've done a fitness WhatsApp group, and daily everyone is putting their programs there. I'm putting mine. So basically, when you're exhausted, you make a selfie or something and you put it there. So that's daily. So daily everyone is putting their stuff there. And like I said, periodical, we have periodical chats about what's going to come. More or less, everyone knows everyone. So we are lucky. We have a few new entrants in the squads. They got a little bit of bad luck because COVID hit and they didn't have time to meet the boys, but life. But other than that, like I said, we are just sharing our trainings. We are going to build it up there. I personally think by summertime, we are going to get a few international dates and things are going to get more serious.
Excellent news. Excellent news. Hopefully. Tell me this then, do you have any tournaments, Andrei, in sight, maybe in the next year or two? Are you aiming towards anything?
Well, the idea was for us to go with the under 19 at small country division, but that's gone. I want to go as a senior now. Like I said, we have a very young senior team for small country division, and I think we have a good chance to do some nice things there. Flying Scots, it's a good preparation tournament for the under 19. We were invited in Romania the same at an international tournament, a friendly international tournament by some friends. So my target will be, so that's how I calculate, hopefully it's going to work, to have at least 3 friendly tournaments before we go to something official. Now, depending on how we manage to play a small country division, we can choose if we can go compete higher. So, but personally, the lads need to see what's happening there. I don't like just showing up. It's a nice tournament. We all clap. We've done it. When you go somewhere, you have to play. You know, what simple as that. I don't like the expression, we got hammered, but it was nice. My blood boils when I'm hearing that expression. You know, the players have to play. It has to be a legit level for them. You know, I was invited by a friend of mine last year before COVID started to go to Romania to another tournament, but the level was extremely high. So our boys, my opinion, weren't ready for that level. You know, we had Vladimir Grbic as a guest for Volleyball Ireland. I'm 100% sure it's easy for us to go to Serbia, but the level is too high. But I think if we take it easy, a little bit flying Scots here, a little bit some friendly tournaments there, in 2 years, we can think of a CEV tournament.
Okay, no shortage of options, sounds like, so that's good.
Sure.
Mark, the girls got any sort of targets in mind in the upcoming year, 2, 3?
I mean, we don't have anything specific. I mean, ideally, we want to be playing more often and with a better level of opposition than what we currently have. Really, only the Patrick's Day International with Northern Ireland available to us, and it's not particularly good preparation, I'd imagine, for either country for when we go away to this small nations competition. And suddenly you're thrown in at the deep end at a level that you're not used to. So the plan ultimately is to play more often, but like, we can't do specifics on that yet because we don't have any information around when we'll be back, let alone when everybody else will be back.
Yeah, of course, the uncertainty is just everywhere at the moment. So I can't believe it. We're actually 30 minutes in already. It's just absolutely flying by. I'm going to have to get both of you back for another session, lads, if that's okay with you at some stage, gentlemen. It's been absolutely incredible just sort of getting that insight. I know you both mentioned earlier, like practice, hard work, but is there any sort of, I'll leave it on just a quick tip from each of you. If it's not practice and more practice, what would it be, Mark, from you for our viewers?
I suppose other than practice, which is a priority, I suppose the only thing I would say is just believe in yourself. The game is for everybody, and everybody will have a role, and the mental side of this game is massive. So I mean, in life, you'll have enough enemies. Don't be your own worst enemy, and just enjoy it while you can.
Nice. Thanks, Mark. Thank you. Andre, some finishing words for our viewers?
You need to want it. You know, at the men's squads, we have a few good examples where nobody gave them a chance initially. Myself and Yunus saw them, and the boys had zero volleyball skills at that moment, but they wanted. You could see on them, they wanted that. And after 2 years, they end up being valuable members of the team. I do mean real members, valuable members. But you need to want it, you know, because that counts a lot. When you want something, it's enjoyable. When something is enjoyable, it's fun. You know, it's a pyramid there, you know. So as long as you want it, everything is possible, you know. But if you don't want it, then you don't want to train, you don't want that, you know what I mean? You really need to want it. So especially if you want to go in this direction where results matter, you know.
Okay, thank you. And I kind of feel like you're conveying the same message. You want to believe in yourself, go out there, practice, and really see what happens. Look, guys, really, once again, thank you so much for your time. I know you're incredibly busy, and we really appreciate you coming on here and giving us some insight. Norma, I'm going to pass over to you, if that's okay. We're going to head on to Jana in just a moment. So Norma, over to you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Conor, and thanks, Andre and Mark, for both of your times. As Conor said, we will have to get them back because there's so much more to cover with you. I generally take notes during the interviews, and I circle some things that stand out to me. And I think Andre gave some good advice there, saying, don't, when you're joining a sport, don't try and be the Messi of the sport. Just go in and set yourselves little goals, long-term goals, and work very hard then to build yourself up to that level. Really sound advice. And Mark, yourself, also on the hard work as well. When you're at home, take this opportunity to do your exercises, practice your jumping, practice your blocks, things like that. So really, really top tips from these top coaches who are very eager to get their squads back on the court. And speaking of physical, we are going to go over to our superwoman, Jana Langford, who has been keeping us all in top shape over the last couple of weeks. Good evening, Jana. Are you ready for the session?
Buddy, always ready. Thank you so much.
Sounds good. Over to you.
I can't believe it's 4 weeks already. I hope everyone was having a really good time doing the workouts. And I hope you were doing a little bit of exercises between as well. Okay, so we'll just continue with our routine, which is our warm-up, our cardio, and go to some strengthening conditioning. We'll be working on our core, on our hands and arms, so we have them nice and strong for hitting, for smashing the ball, for serving. And we also continue working on our quads as well, so we can do our passing, and we'll continue working on our quick feet as well, because with every sport, especially in volleyball, you need a very, very quick feet to get quickly to the ball, and you need a good jump as well. So we'll put all of that together, and I hope you get to enjoy yourself while doing this workout. Okay, so you need your mat. Ideally, if you have a ball, but you need the ball, you don't need it. Glass of water, and I'll switch on the music, and we'll start with our warm-up routine. Okay, so everybody's ready? Can you tell me if the music is okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, sorry, I can't see anybody at the moment, so I really don't know how many people are doing the workouts, but super. Okay. So we'll just start with our gentle warm-up. I'll take the camera here. So we start with our head, turning our head. And the other way. Now your shoulders. You want to turn your shoulders forward and back. So now my arms, the wrists. The other way. Remember the breathing as well. Now both directions. And the other way. Good. Very good. Now yours. Nice wide circles. Good. The other way. Now we just stretch the legs a little bit, stretch the groins. The other one. Now stretch the quads. Now let's shake them. Let's shake the legs, shake the arms. Good. Now if you can hold up to something, we're just gonna a little bit warm up those legs, because we'll need them. Working on your balance too. Good. The other leg. Good. Okay, we just want to turn a little bit our ankles. Good. Good. Okay. We'll start to get into our cardio. So start with a gentle run. Just keep on gently running on one spot. Remember breathing. Good. Now start moving your legs all the way at the back. You do 30 seconds. Another 10. And rest. And deep breaths. One more time. We'll be running with our feet back. You're running on the bones of your feet. Another 15. Nice and light on those feet. Another 5. And rest. Good. And a few nice breaths. Now we'll be still running with our legs up in 5 minutes, 5 seconds. Okay, ready? Nice and high. You try to do it for 30 seconds. All the way. Keep it up. Wanna work on your jump? Another 10 seconds, hold on. And rest. Good. We do it one more time. Few seconds. And one more time, another 30 seconds. All the way high up. Keep it up. Nice and high. Okay, another 10 seconds. And rest. Well done. Grab a water if you need to. And we'll go into our star jumps. So we do 2 sets as well, of 30 seconds. Remember your star jump? Another 10 seconds. Nearly there. Keep it up. And rest. And shake those arms, shake those legs, and few deep breaths. And we'll go again, another 30 seconds now. Oh, sorry, star jumps. You can speed up if you want to, or you can just keep the tempo going. Another 15. And last 5. Good. And that's it. You should feel nice and warm and very light. Okay. We'll be working on our lunges and our squats. So we get down and we just go down on our one leg and we go up again. And the other one, go down and go up. If you want, you can grab a ball, then you can go down and you can go up. Down and up. Down, all the way down. You feel a nice stretch. And down. And up. And up. Another 20 seconds. Another 5. Good. And rest. Well done. Now we'll go back to our squats. We do the squats down, but we are going to go sideways and down. And now into the middle, down, and sideways again, and down. Okay, so we'll be moving that way. We will keep on for 30 seconds. Middle, down, sideways, down, middle, down, side. Keep it up, I know it burns. Another 10. Five. And the last one, good. And shake those legs. You do it one more time. It's really good for passing. Okay. Ready? Go down. Up. Third. And down. Middle. Down. Side. Down. Middle. Keep it up. Another 10. Now this is the hardest. Keep it up. Okay. Now we're going to stay low. Don't be going up. And now we start to do a little bit of walking. You can go forward and you can go back. And keep it up. Try to make another 20 seconds if you can. You can go sideways. That's how you're moving on the court. Just keep as low as you can. You can go even lower if you want to challenge yourself. I know it burns. Nearly there. Another 5, 2, and rest. Well done. That was difficult. Okay. Grab some water, few deep breaths, and we're going to start moving into our core. We're going to start working on our stomach and on our arms. Okay. If you're ready, we'll go to our planks. I have slightly different variations of planks for you today, just something different. Okay. So we'll go to our plank. We hold in the plank as long as we can. Okay. Last time we were touching the ball. This time we are going to go sideways. So you're going to try to move left and right. And you try to hold as long as you can in your plank. You try to do a minute. Good, keep going. Keep it up. Good. Another 10. Another 5. Hold on. And you can rest for a while. Now, if you've got your ball, you'll go back to our plank. You should be able to hold in a plank at least 2 minutes now, okay? So you can go and start touching the ball forward. We'll just try to stay in the plank for another minute. You can just play around and you can do different things. You can play with the ball if you want to, because you are practicing your core strength, again, to prevent injuries. And you'll be surprised when you go on a volleyball court, and if you start serving that ball, you'll see how much power is coming from your core. And the same with your smashes. Okay, if you can, try to hold on for another 10 seconds. Five. Good, well done. That was great work. Grab some water if you want to. Few deep breaths. And now we are gonna go and do side planks. We haven't done them last time. So you try to go on your side. You want to have your arm in the right angle. And we are gonna try to lift ourselves up and raise your arm. And you try to stay as stable as possible. You try to hold on for 10. Okay, hold on. Now we are going to try to do down and up and try to move your body for a while. Try to make it to 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Push and hold for another 10. I know it burns, but that's where it gets stronger. Another 5. And rest. Well done. And we'll do it again on the other side. You should be nice and warm at the moment. Okay. So ready? Put yourself in position. Lift yourself up. And try to hold on for 10. Okay, now we're gonna pump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10, and hold. Push up as much as you can and try to hold on for another 10. And relax. Well done. That was a side plank. It's a really good exercise to do. Super. So we'll go back to one more plank, but we're going to be working our hands as well. Remember, we've done it before. Okay, so we're in our plank, and we are going to go down first to the lower plank, and we're going to lift our legs. 1, 2, and push ourselves up again. And that's 1. Okay, and we'll be making sure that we'll alternate the arms you're using to push yourself up and go down again. Try to do 10 if you can. We are 3 now. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep it going. Don't stop. Nearly there. 9, and the last one. And push yourself up. Good. And rest. And you can shake those arms. Okay. Next something. Well, we are working on our arm strength. We're going to do a few push-ups, but we're going to do them slowly. It's not about the quantity, it's about doing them well and be able to push yourself up. So again, if you can do full push-up, you start on your legs in the plank. If not, you can be on your knees. Okay? What we're going to do, we're going to go down, hold for a while, and push yourself up. Okay? If you don't have a strength, at least stay here, hold on for a while, and then push yourself up. That's 2. We're just gonna do 5, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Take those arms. Okay. Now we're gonna work a little bit on our triceps. You can use it with weights, or alternatively, you can use a chair or couch. So you're gonna try to prop yourself against the couch. Okay, can you see me this way? And I'm just gonna go myself as low as I can and push myself up again. This is an excellent way of working on your triceps. Again, you need it for your smashes, for your shirts. Okay, try to do 10 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done, and shake it. Let's do it one more time. Another 10. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's hard. 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. Definitely do those at home, because that's a brilliant exercise for those triceps. Excellent. Okay, a few deep breaths. Glass of water. And we'll go and do a few bicycle crunches. Okay, so we'll go down and we do a set of 10s. Remember? Are you ready? So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold on for a while. And you're going to do another 10 straight away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Remember, breathe. 10. Hold on for a while again. Try to hold for 10. 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and down. Well done. And relax. A few deep breaths. We'll continue with our core. We'll be doing Russian twists. Again, if you have a ball, you can bring a ball, but you don't need it. You can just use your hands. So we lift our legs, we get ready, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And relax. And we do it one more time. Okay, lift, and one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. Okay. Few deep breaths. I'll show you a few more. If you have energy and want to continue in the core, another good exercise. You can just go and lift yourself up and go down. And up and down. Up. So that's another one you could do. Deep breaths. Another exercise I wanted to show you, which is going to be very tough now because we've done a lot on our core. But do it at home when you're getting stronger. You start here and very slowly you start moving your legs down and you try to count till 30. But you go very, very slow, controlled motion. And if you go down, try to wait for another 10. And either up if you can, or just relax in the child pose. Okay? Try to do it one more time. Hold for 10. up. Well done. Try it one more time. This is really pushing yourself. And up. Well done. Okay. Good. We're gonna give our abdominals a break. So now just one quick exercise on our glutes as well. Obviously we've done lunges and so on, so we do bridge. So we lift ourselves up. Okay. We're gonna try to hold for 10. Try to push as much as possible. Okay, you can hold yourself here if you want. And now we'll start moving our legs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9, 10, and hold on. Hold for a while. Push as high as you can. You can even lift yourself on your legs if you want, on your toes. But try to hold for another 10. 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. And you can go into the child pose. Let's try to do it one more time, and then go for a warm up. Oh, sorry, cool down. Okay, pick yourself up. Hold for 10. And now go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, hold on, and 10. And hold up for another while. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. And shake it a little bit. Very good. So it's 7 o'clock. So grab some water and we'll do some nice cool down and nice stretching. Remember always to stretch when you finish your exercise. Okay. So much to stay still down. So we'll start cooling down from head down. And lift yourself. Yes. Have your arm focus to your body. And nice stretch. So this is especially focused on the volleyball or cool down. When you were using your hands, your arms, a lot. Okay, now up. Stretch down there. Try to reach as much as you can. Stretch yourself on the back if you can. And the other one. Okay. Now we are going to try something similar. You go one head down and you try to use this one to actually reach. Okay, and then you're pulling yourself down and up. If you can't reach, you can use a towel or belt, anything you want, and you do the same thing. You just grab it and use it to pull. Okay, that's alternative. Until you're ready to actually fully touch. And you should feel really, really nice stretch. Good. The other way. Good. Now try to get your hands at the back if you can. and try to lift them as far as you can away from your body. Again, you're getting a lovely stretch for your shoulders and for your arms. Good. Now we're going to stand up. A few more stretches. Okay. Now we're going to stretch our waist. So just pull yourself wide. Try to stay as straight as you can. Don't lean forward, don't lean back. Try to get as far as you can. And breathe. Good. And the other way. And stretch. Well done. Okay. Now we are going to go down to this pose. Nice and straight. So you are stretching your hamstrings and your quads. Try to get as low as you can without touching the ground. You lift your arms and you can stretch sideways. So you see a lovely stretch in your groin, in your waist, and all this side. Very effective stretch. And back. Well done. Now the other way, all the way down. Nice and straight. Lift yourself up. And a lovely stretch to the other side. Just be careful. If it hurts, don't do it. Pull back. Good. Well done. Now we're just going to stretch those a little bit. This one, the other one. Your quads again. Push against. Good. The other one. Very good. Now we are going to go to our first downward fold. So you're just going to go low as you can. Just let your body go down. You can do a ragdoll if you want. You can turn a little bit left and right. Let the gravity do the work. If you're ready, you can go to our downward dog. Just for a while. Just to supple. And do a little paddling with your legs. You get lovely stretches. Good. We'll go to our pigeon pose. Excellent for sciatica, so go sideways. Okay. You try to stretch. So you should feel a really nice stretch at the end of your bone and here as well. And whenever you are ready, you can go all the way down. Good. And go lift yourself up back to the downward dog. And we do the other one. Go sideways and down. Have another 2 minutes. Good. Okay. Now we're just going to do 1 more minute. Bear with me. It's important to do this stretch. So we'll go into our child pose. Okay. Now you can lay down and you just go sideways. You go to your right and your head is going to go to the other side. And yes. It's a really nice stretch. You can help yourself as well with your arm, but your shoulders should stay on the ground. And your head faces the opposite direction. 1 more time. And the other way. Good. And our last pose is to try to flip your legs back. Okay, Norma, I'm nearly finished. Just all the way down. Up. And who is ready, just very slowly and gently flip your legs over your head.
Again, don't rush it. Eventually with the gravity, your toes are gonna touch the ground. But you get really nice stretching your lower back without putting pressure on your back. And back as well. Well done. Whew. So I think we are done. I'm just going to switch it up. Oh, this half an hour is not enough. Sorry, I went a little bit over, but I hope everyone enjoyed it. It was slightly tougher, but we are the last week anyway. I think everyone was well up for it, hopefully.
Thanks. Time flies when you're having fun, Jana. It does. So thanks once again for your workouts. So I have a question for you. What's your most favorite exercise?
Favorite exercise in terms of favorite pose or favorite thing to do or favorite?
You pick one exercise to do. What is your favorite one to do?
Oh, one exercise. That's a difficult one. I don't think I have one. Seriously.
No? You have a lot?
Oh, I think probably in terms of workout, probably burpees, which actually I realize I haven't done today. But I find it's excellent exercise because you're practicing your jump, you go down, you're doing your push-up, and you do your stretch. Probably burpee would be my favorite.
Burpees are a very love-hate. You know, people either love them or they really hate burpees. But yeah, as you said, they are a very, very effective workout. They are. So thanks for that. And if you want to watch the workout again, this has been recorded and it's on our YouTube channel. Also, if you want to watch the interview with Andrei and Mark, it's also on the YouTube channel. I want to say a big thank you to our guests over the last 4 weeks. So thank you to Michaela Boyle, Gareth Gilmartin, Maria Jones, and tonight's guest, head coaches Andrei Molnar and Mark Delahunty. A big thank you to our sponsors, Fine Digital, for making this program possible. And a big thank you to our superwoman, Jana, as well, for keeping us in shape over the last 4 weeks. This is the end of our 4-week virtual volley. However, we do have some exciting new program coming next week. So keep an eye on the Volleyball Ireland social media page where we will make the announcement of the new program. And a little hint, we'll also be seeing Jana again in the coming weeks. So Conor, any final words to add?
No, nothing from me. I don't want to spoil the surprise. So guys, just stay tuned for next week. We'll be getting out to all your emails that you've registered with the exciting news and the new program that's going to be rolling out over the next number of weeks for you. So thanks again for tuning in and have a great evening. Thank you.